All right, so I'm going to go over to our sidebar. And on the sidebar, once again, there's the edit button and a plus button. That plus button adds another sidebar gadget. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at this navigation bar. In the navigation bar, if we click on it, it brings us to our custom navigation feature. You can change the name. Instead of it being called the navigation button, you can name it to click here to view my side. You can just say your name. Whatever you want, you can change the name of this navigation pane. It's always defaulted to automatically organize my navigation. And it's automatically set to alphabetical. But I like to customize it if I use this at all. And so what you would do is you would, normally that would be clicked on. I would unclick on it, and you're going to see this option without anything there. So let me show you what it would look like. It's all blank. And so what it would like you to do is add pages in levels. And what that means is you have a top level page, which is the main page, and then a secondary page, which would be the sub page, and then another page, which would be a sub page. Okay, so it could be homework, and then it could be semester 1 homework, semester 2 homework, and then underneath that, all the different homework assignments. So those are the 3 different levels you can do. So the way you would do this, you would click on Add Page, and it brings you to all the different pages that you already have on your website. So I'm going to say, what if I want my computer technology class to be the first page on the top? I'm going to click on that and hit OK. Notice it places it right up at the top. Then I want to add another page called Hey Looky Here, and it adds it there. And if I click OK, off to the side, you will see Computer Tech and Hey Looky Here. Those are the orders that I wanted to place them in. But let's say that I meant, I really wanted the Hey Looky Here to be on top. I'm just going to go to these arrows and move it up. Now Hey Looky Here is on top. If you have it clicked on automatically organize, it's going to organize it the way it wants to organize it, by alphabetical. So if you want to change it up, you will have to unclick that and then put them in yourself. Now under Computer Tech, what if I wanted to add some assignments? Well, then I go click on Add Page, and then I click on Assignments as my subpage. Now, if I leave it like this, notice it's right below Computer Tech. So if I click OK, it's just going to show it as assignments under the Computer Tech. But we don't want that. We want it to be as a subpage. So I'm going to click on Assignments, and I'm going to click on the arrow that moves it over. So it moves it over just a little bit. Now, if I click OK, it's going to disappear, and it's going to go underneath my computer class. And then I can actually move. Whoops, hold on. And then once you're done, click Close. And then I can actually close. I thought I clicked it. Hold on. There we go. That should be good. I can close it, and it won't show that anymore. So you can have it closed where it just shows Computer Tech, or you can have it open where it shows all the sub pages underneath. So that's one way you can customize that. Now, you can't really emphasize different words on there. Like you want to make something bold, or you want to put like an exclamation mark after it, you could, but they all have to be either the same size, big or small. So there's nothing really that pops out. So I like to make sidebars without my custom navigation. I don't like the custom navigation. What I like to do is add text boxes. And the way I would do that is the same thing. I go underneath the cog wheel, and I click on Edit Site Layout, and I would add, with that little plus button in the upper corner, I would add a new sidebar gadget. So I'm going to click the plus, and it's going to ask, what would you like to add as your sidebar gadget? Well, we already have a navigation button. Okay, we're going to add a text button. But notice there's also a recent site activity button. So it'll say all the different things you've changed on your website. I wouldn't recommend putting that. My activity, countdown, we're going to get to that in a second. And site owner. So the only real thing that I would use from this is the text option and the countdown option. And I'll show, like I said, I'll show you what that is in a minute. I'm going to click on Add Text. And it looks like, I thought I just added it. Where'd it go? Did I make a mistake? you didn't make a mistake. It's actually all the way down here at the bottom as just a bar. And it's interesting because when I taught this to my students, I would have like 20 bars down here, and the kids like, it's not working. You did it 20 times. It is working. It's just going to be right there. So to edit it, we come up, and I just click on it. And so let's say that you want this to be your assignments pane. So that's perfectly fine. You call it assignments. And now you would type in what you want to do. So you can call it assignment 4, or you can, let's math work or something. Now notice, now I can bold it. Now I can make it bigger. Now I can change the font. Now I can change the color. So doing it this way, you can change it to customize it any way that you want. But there's only one extra step, and that's linking this word to the page you want it to be linked to. And that's by hyperlinking. And all that means is you're going to take this little chain link and link it to somewhere that's already made on your website. So I'm going to click on the hyperlink, and it says, do you want to link it to one of your site pages or to another website? We're going to just link it to one of our site pages, and then the site page tree comes up again. So here's assignments, and let's say that instead of saying final product, let's say that said math work, because that's what we did. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, now this is linked to that page. So when I click on down here, I click on OK, you'll now notice under assignments, it says math work in the color that I wanted, in the font that I wanted, and in the size that I wanted. So notice it's, and let's say that I don't want it all the way at the bottom down here. I can just click once and drag it wherever I want. I can even drag it up to the top. Now it's right there. So this is movable like puzzle pieces to wherever you want it to go. But look, it's much bigger than these. It's a different font than those. And I can click on it, and it takes me right to wherever I want it to take me to on my webpage. So it is a link just like the navigation is, but you can now customize your link. Now, if you look at my website, I have done the same thing over here, but I've also done the same thing with pictures. So if you don't really want words, let's say you teach at elementary school. Anybody elementary school here? Instead of words, you can put pictures of your unit, because Unit 1 in my class has a picture of a turtle with a jetpack, because it's about speed and acceleration. So they know that picture represents Unit 1. Plus it says Unit 1. So they know when they click there, it will take them to that part of my web page, Unit 1 motion. So let me show you how to add a picture in this fashion. So once again, we go up to Edit Site Layout. I'm going to click on plus because I want to add another text. Now, you were like, maybe you just said you wanted to add a picture. How come you're adding text? Because in the picture pane is where we're going to add the text. So I scroll down, and I click on the text box, and once again, it brings this up. And then we go to insert. Insert what? Insert an image. Now, there's two options for you to insert an image. You can either take an image that's already on your computer that you've downloaded previously and add it, or you can add a picture directly from the internet. I'm going to show you how to do both. So let's say that I want a picture of Albert Einstein. So I go to Google and I type in Albert and I click on images. Let's say I want this picture for my website. I'm going to click on it, brings up the big page, and then I'm going to right click, copy image URL. Okay, so that's going to be the web link for that picture. Click on it, Now I go back and click on web address URL. And I copied it, so I'm going to right click again and paste it. And there it is. I'm going to click OK. And the size here is what it's going to appear on the side. So you can imagine pretty much nothing is going to appear there. So I would click, there gives you the options for the size. Small, medium, large, or 100% original. We want it to go small. Now that will fit right there. And then right now, if they click on it, it will take them to that page where the picture was found. We're going to change that hyperlink to any page on your website. So let's say we want it to go to assignments. Okay. And I can title this assignments as well. Click OK. If I scroll down, there he is. And underneath, you can put some words as well. Click on Einstein's head to take you to your homework. So that's how you can have pictures hyperlinked to somewhere else on your web page. So that's how you can change up your sidebars to be more than just the basic navigation pane that you're normally given right off of Google. So what I would like you to do now, we're going to take a quick break, and I want you to do, well, I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm going to have you do that as well. Then we'll have a break with the sidebar. I'm going to show you how to insert the countdown. Now, the countdown is what I put on my website for, not homework, but tests. So if I scroll down, the countdown is right beneath the unit we're on. And they can see that there's 14 days left until we take our unit 4 exam. So that's what a countdown is. So to add that, it's the exact same process. Okay, let me hit close so I can show you. You click on the cog wheel, you click on edit site layout, and you click on the plus. And it says, what would you like to add? We're going to scroll down to countdown. And once again, it looks like it forgot to add it, but if you scroll down, there it is. I'm going to click on the countdown, and it's going to say, what's the event? Okay, so we can just put next test. And when is the next test? Let's say that it is March 1st. Oh, that's a Sunday. I can't get tests on a Sunday. March 2nd. It instantly calculates the days until that day, days until next test, and counts it down. So an instant countdown.
And it's every day counting weekends.
Yes, yes, every day. Yeah, not work days. I made a website for Alta Sierra for the help desk. It has different tips and tricks on how to use the computer, and it has our digital detention system on there. But also off to the side, it has countdown to the last day of school, countdown to Easter, countdown to every single thing that T-Bone, our liaison officer, likes to count down. So now I can keep up with them with the countdowns. So I would like you to take some time now to add some sidebar gadgets. I'd like you to mess around with your navigation. I would like you to mess around with adding text and linking that as navigation. I would like you to add the text and then put in a picture and make that as your navigation, and then mess around with the countdown gadget. So mess around with that, and we'll walk around. And if you get stuck, we can help you out.
Remember, if you're just doing what he says and messing around, you can always get rid of it later if it's something.
Absolutely. So. That's why I mess around on a fake website I don't care about.
Since you didn't build this, it's actually. Oh, did you? All right.
Or I didn't show this because I didn't know that Google added this. And if you don't want to do all the steps of copy the URL, paste the URL, you can actually drag and drop now. I've been asking from Google for a while, and I guess they just added it. I thought I'd try it out. So you can go to the page that you want, just click once on it, drag it to your tab, and then drop it, and it works that way too. I wish I had that a couple years ago when I was showing kids how to do this, because they kept trying to drag and drop, and it kept saying error. I'm like, well, they won't let you do it. Now they will. So you can drag and drop. Same old thing. And then you would, once again, and you'd click on it, and then add the hyperlink that way for it.
It actually needs to have and link the page to the
And like for me, we have lots of state standards. So if you wanted to link to a web page, you can definitely do it. So instead of linking to a page on your thing, I link this to the California state standards for the state standards. So you don't have to link it to anything just on your web page. You can link it to off-site web pages as well.
Did you have like a picture with the countdown, or was this the countdown?
The countdown was below it.
Okay.
Yeah, the countdown will be all by itself.
Okay. So then, what about when you have the picture, let's say for the nutrition unit, or whatever, then what were you saying? Like, how did you link? I lost the part that you where you could click on.
Oh,
this
so-
and you could figure out.
So highlight it, and then you click on the little hyperlink, and then you add any page that you want to. Make sure you hit it on this side. The yogas, if you click, I do it all the time too.
I changed my mouse settings because it was driving me crazy. I made it.
So if you search for a website, search.
Okay. So it'll be web address.
Okay. So then.
And so you can either add a web address or
Search
you
for
can
it.
Okay,
Or
no,
just
okay,
use the-
gotcha.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just trying to picture like how this is gonna go. That's it. Like if I were to have assignments that say under nutrition,
Mhm.
like how can I do that? I think that's my
So this is your nutrition. You can actually add words underneath
okay.
as well.
Okay.
So whatever you type there, and then you can hyperlink those as well. So this could be your nutrition picture, and then you can type in the assignment names under it and hyperlink it to your assignments from your web page. Or you can if you don't have it as a web page, if you have it as a Google Doc, you can hyperlink it directly to your Google Doc. We'll get into difference between hyperlinking Google Docs, embedding Google Docs, and uploading Google Docs. The 3 different ways that you can attach documents.
Okay. There's so much space.
So where did you grab it from? Did you do that?
No,
Did you drag it
didn't
up?
drag it up.
Let's see if that makes a difference. And you can change the size. Just change the I guess the drag and drop isn't perfect yet. So this right now is your sidebar option. I'm going to show you right after this, in about 5 more minutes, after you play around with it a while, I'm going to show you the horizontal bar option. The horizontal bar is what you see at the top of mine. You can't add pictures or anything, but it's a great, quick, easy way to navigate a website as well. I have both. You can use both. You can use just one. It's completely your choice. Like I said, I throw everything on my website just to give teachers the look at pretty much everything they could possibly imagine. And if we have time at the very end, I'll show you how to change your favicon up in the upper corner. Everybody always wonders how you do that. And if there's something that you were hoping to get out of tonight, like I really want to know how to do this, please, before you go, make sure you ask that so I can show you how to do it. I don't want you leaving here going, oh man, I wish you would have shown me. I'll show it to you. Show it to you. I have lots of stuff on my list, but you guys are first. There's only 4 of you, so you speak up. Whatever you want me to show you, I'll show you. And one more thing, you may see that I have a animated picture here moving around. It's called an animated GIF. Same exact thing that I showed you, except you'd have to go to a web page that has an animated GIF. The best place to go is animationlibrary.com. They have tons of different animated GIFs that you can add to your website. And so they're all over the place, and you can add these, and they're by science, nature, geography, food and drinks. And then all you would do is you would copy and paste the URL just like we showed you earlier. So let's say barbecue picnics. So any of these, you'd click on it, right click, copy image URL, and you'd paste it in that exact same way that I showed you. And now you've copied and pasted an animated GIF. So that's why I added animated GIFs. I'll show you how to do that to the main body in a little bit, but just wanted to show you can do it to the side options as well. Now let me show you how to add the horizontal toolbar. Once again, we go back to our bread and butter, which is the edit site layout. And watch, if I turn off the sidebar and it goes away, I didn't delete it. I've just hidden it. Okay, so if you ever want to turn the sidebar off to see if the horizontal works better, you're more than welcome to do that. You can always turn it back on and it'll come back. So it doesn't delete. It just so you can tell which one looks cleaner for me. I'm going to turn the horizontal navigation on, and what that does is it creates a location up here for you to add your pages as well. It automatically adds one page, and that's your home page. Welcome to my web page is up there. But all I do is I click on it, and it's the exact same way that we were navigating that little navigation pane off to the side. And you add the exact same way as well. So let's say I want to add my computer tech class. And then under that, I wanted to add my Hey Looky Here page. So those pages are added. I click OK. And now up at the top, I have those pages right there. And notice if I hover over them, it just allows me to click on them, but nothing else underneath pops up. Whereas on mine, I hover over and you see a whole bunch of stuff popping up. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's the exact same way. We add something underneath it and then move it off to the side. So edit side layout. Let's say I want to add some subpages to my computer tech class. I want to add assignments. Notice it added it to the bottom. I'm going to move it up to right underneath computer tech and then move it to the right. And it moves it over just a little bit. And I click OK, close to be done. And now when I hover over, it gives me the option of a drop down under the assignments. Now, the biggest tip that I can give you for your website, plan it out. Create like a word web where the center is your main page, and then it comes off with like 5 sub pages, and then the things you want to come off of those sub pages. That is the best way. Plan ahead and then work from that. If you've already done some things, you're like, oh, but I would really like this to be over here. That's perfectly fine. We can always move pages around and put them where you want them to go. But I do recommend if you have a skeleton and you have the basics of a website down, but you want to add more, plan it out to what you want to do and then add the pages that way. It's easier to add at the beginning than to add and then have to move everything around. So what I would like you to do now is I'd like you to add a horizontal bar and add some pages up there and then add some sub pages up there as well. So a few more minutes to go play around with that. Yes.
So
I want 3, I guess, so this is the main page, the first thing.
Okay.
Would that be considered the main page?
That'd be the main page, yeah.
And I would like 3 subpages for each of my different classes I teach. And I think I only have and I don't.
With these right here? Those are your 3 subpages. And those are always going to appear at the bottom of your main page. Geography is underneath. Looks like it's underneath a different page. Or you moved it as at the top. It might be its own main page. We didn't put it under the main page. So you can do it that way as well if you wanted to. Instead of having a sub page, you can have multiple main pages. But I always have one main page so that I know my sub pages down.
If I go and add something.
So yeah, this is your header. So we can do whatever you want up there.
Or the right there.
Oh, the horizontal
Yeah.
navigation? Oh, yeah, that'll be, so if we go to edit site layout, and then we go to horizontal right here, add page, we can find the geography. And as we add it, we go into it. And so from the horizontal, I would just include your sub pages because your main page is already there.
So geography is a main page.
Yeah, so geography, because I'm going to show you when we add pages that you can either make it underneath the home page or you can make it at the top of the home page, which means it makes it its own page.
And then there's
Yeah, and I'll show you how to move, with the move button.
Okay, so how, give the same question.
Mhm.
So let's say I want to do another, like you said, your drop down menu or other things. How do I add, let's say, injuries to your chains?
Okay, do you have a page already called injuries? Oh, so we're gonna have to add a page called injuries, and then we can add it in.
Okay, so we're
It's
Yeah.
online and sometimes it
So-
doesn't cooperate.
We click on add page. Okay, so we hit cancel. And then cancel. And so what you would do is you would hit close so we can add a page. And I'll show you how to add a page. You click on the little plus button,
Okay.
and then you call it injuries. And then what did you want it to go under?
Check this out.
Check this out. And is there a page called check this out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So then we will choose a different location. And check this out. There we go. So that's where we want it. So click off to the side now. And create. Yes, and then once that's created, now you have an option for injuries now. So now you would go to go ahead and save, and then edit site layout. And we click on the horizontal pane. Yeah, so click on that again so we can open it up. And then click down here. Anywhere, yeah. And then we would add that page.
It's like
And it's under check this
there's
out.
something hidden. It's hidden for that.
There's a little plus button and open up everything underneath it. And then click on injuries. And then just scroll up. And click OK. Here we go. So you want it to be under check this out, right? So move the up button until it's right beneath it. And then move the over button. And then now it's back. So click on add page. And then to where you want. Up button. There you go. Perfect.
And so now if I wanted to add like, some documents to this, but I wanted like subheaders, I would have to go back and add another page.
Yes, so what,
Okay.
so you would close out of
it.
this,
Mhm.
and then, under this page,
Mhm.
you would click add page.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's the easiest way to add a page is go to the page you want it to go under.
gotcha. So I
Right
write
there.
chapter, whatever,
Absolutely.
chapter, gotcha.
Yes.
Do you have any idea why
would the space be
between the lines, it's like some of them
So
look like they have
here,
here.
here, that's a good question.
Did you copy and paste it from anywhere?
No, just a
Let me see, highlight all of them real quick for me. And then go to, let's see if we can move that. There we go.
Now we can try the font size.
There had to be something in there that
Yeah.
is making me do that, because that's,
Okay, thank you.
all right, so now that we have sidebars and we have our horizontal bars, you can decide which one you want to keep. You can hide them and then they're not gone. So if you ever decide to go, you know what, I'd rather have my horizontal instead of my sidebar, you can always turn one off, turn one on, keep them both on, whatever works best for you. The next thing I want to show you is adding a page, okay? Because adding a page, you have more options than you possibly can imagine. Now you want to add the page where you would like the page. So right now, if I add the page, I'm going to add it to my home page. So notice when I click on, where's my, there it is. At the very bottom, it shows me my subpages for my home page right down here. So if I added a page right now, it's going to ask, do you want me to put it at the top level, which doesn't make it a subpage. It makes it its very own main page as well. Okay, or I can put it under my main page, which will make it a subpage. It really doesn't matter what you do, especially if you're like a language teacher and a history teacher. You could probably have language and history as your top pages and not put the two under your main page. So that really doesn't matter. But let's say you accidentally put it at the top level, but you wanted it, and I'm gonna put this, I'll type this as page 1, just so I know what I'm looking for. I accidentally put it under the top level, and what I really meant to do is put it under my main page. Because here's the problem. It doesn't show up anywhere on the side. And if I go to my main page here, it doesn't show up anywhere underneath. It looks like I created it, and I have no idea where it's at. Okay? So what you would have to do is move that page. And here's how you move a page to where you would like it. You go underneath your cogwheel, and you go to Move Page. So you click on Move Page, and it asks, where would you like to move it? And if I want to put it underneath my home page, I click there and click Move. Let's say that I accidentally created it on my main page, but I wanted it to go underneath my computer tech, and I click Move. Let's say that it was actually an assignment that I assigned under my computer tech. Well, then under computer tech, I click on Assignments, and then I click Move. You can move it wherever you want. And it changes the URL to fit that. So if you've ever linked that page somewhere else, it'll dynamically relink it to the correct spot. So if you move anything anywhere, Google fixes everything so that everything you've linked will also change. So it'll be okay. But if you put it somewhere by accident, don't be freaked out. You can always move it whenever you want. You can also delete a page. Let's say you made this page a while ago and you don't teach that subject anymore, you don't do that lesson anymore, and you don't want it anymore. Well, then all you would do is the same thing. You come up here and delete. And then let's say you delete it and you accidentally deleted it. Don't worry about it, because under Manage Site, there's an option that says Deleted Items, and you can always go back to it and undelete it. So it's never actually deleted. It just doesn't show it on the pages anymore. Now let me show you the different types of pages that you can add over here. So it's defaulted to web page. That's the page that you've been creating and writing on and linking on. That's a normal web page. The other options are announcements pages, and I'm going to show you that next because that's a very powerful tool for teachers. Filing cabinet. So let's say that you have a list of assignments you want the kids to get ahead of time for that unit. You can make a filing cabinet page called like Unit 1, and all the documents they're going to need for Unit 1 are already in this filing cabinet, so they know where to go. A list, that's like a checklist, like make sure you've done all these things. I don't know the use of that page. I've never used it before. And then a start page, that's your main page. I've never used that one before either. I've used these three most often. Filing cabinet less and less now that I use my Google Drive as my filing cabinet. And announcements pages, I use that as my main form of communication on my web page. I use this in lieu of a calendar. In the Stoll bill, it says you must maintain a calendar on your website. Now, the calendar doesn't necessarily mean a date calendar. It means a list of assignments on dates that they were assigned. That's what that means. And so here, this is what a class announcement looks like. And so you can see that the agenda for Thursday, February 5th, if I click on it, I mean, it gives me a short snippet of what it was, but if I clicked on it, it tells me exactly what we did that day. So that is a calendar, a list of assignments that we've done. And it's super easy to make and super easy to keep up. And so I'm going to show you right now how to do that. So we're going to create an announcements page. And I'm going to name this page Recent Events. Recent Class Events. That's what I'm going to name it. You can name it whatever you want. You can name it whatever you want. And I'm going to place it under my home page. So I'm going to make sure I don't have the button clicked where it says put under top level. I'm going to make sure I click on it where it says put page under my welcome page. so I know where to find it. And then I'm going to click Create. And you'll notice it looks a little bit different than a normal web page. It basically creates a working blog embedded into your web page. And so whenever you want to add things to your agenda that you did, instead, like I write it on the board, but then I also write it here, you click New Post. And then under the title of the post, I put the date. Oops, not Tuesday, Tuesday. And then I would add in the things that we did. And then you can do bullet points off to the side. You can do it numbered. You can change the font size. Okay, you can do anything that you want right here. And so let's just go blah, 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 to blah, 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 and then save. So it creates it as its own web page, but it's actually, if I go back to my recent events, it's just a post in my blog. So if the kids go to my announcement page, they can see a running list throughout the whole entire year of what we've done. And then at the end of the year, delete. And then that whole page is gone. You don't have to worry about going back through and cleaning everything up. Or instead of deleting, you can archive it so you can refer back to it. What did I do this week? Oh, that's what I did. And then you can copy and paste. That's what I normally do. I archive the year before so that only I can see it and the kids can't. And then I know if I'm on pace of what I did last year and the same assignments that I assign and that type of thing. Now, here's the even more powerful thing. If I go to my main page, I want my parents to see those recent announcements as one of the first things they see. Underneath my welcome, I want the announcements to be right there. So if my parents visit my webpage, there is the minimum amount of clicks to see what's going on in my student's classroom. And so what I have to do is I add a gadget. And a gadget is just a working app on your web page. So I'm going to place it right below my welcome. I'm going to go to Insert, Recent Posts, because your announcement page is a post page. Make sure you click on the one, because I have a couple. I have one called Class, one called Looky Here. The one we just created is called Recent Class Events. So if you have you can have multiple announcements pages, especially if you're an AB teacher or a teacher that teaches 2 subjects, because you may want a announcements page for language and then an announcements page for history. Or you may want an announcements page if you're an elementary teacher for all the different subjects you've done. Maybe this is what we did for science. This is what we did for that. So you can have many different announcements pages if you want, but make sure you click the one that you want. Short snippet means it's going to show the first sentence of the first line.
Hold on.
Yes.
Insert more gadgets.
Insert. Oh, sorry. Actually, since this is the one that's most commonly used, we don't have to go to more gadgets. It's going to be the very first one underneath the gadget.
Oh, the recent. Okay.
Yeah, recent
Thank you.
post. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that middle one is all the gadgets, and these are the most commonly used. So that's the number 1 most commonly used. And then, like I said, short snippet, medium snippet, or full post. Completely up to you. If it's on my main page, I wouldn't go any more than medium snippet. You don't want them to read the whole full post. You want them to actually click on it for that. Number of posts to display. I say 5. After the 5th one, it pushes the first one down, and then now you see the 6th one. So only 5 are seen. The other one's not gone. It's just not on your home page. So I use 5. And then I usually take off my borders and my title because they know what it is. And I click Save. I want it to be in the middle. And I click Save. And there it is right there. And if I click on it, it takes me right to the post. And actually, let's go back and let's add that border because this the style makes the border hard to see. So we'll actually go back. So if you want to edit it, you go to the little pencil. The gadget's going to be just a big white box. It's not going to look anything like what you would see. You click on the cog wheel, and then let's go ahead and include the border and change the name to, oh, that's why it's still on class, class events. Recent class events. There we go. And so you can see this is going to be a running list. So whenever you add to your recent class announcements, it'll create a new post instantly. So you don't have to create it in 2 places. So if I go down to my class announcements and I create a new post, not only does it add it here, but it adds it as a running list to my homepage. And the great thing about it is you can also attach documents to this. Right down here, add files. So I'm going to show you a few different ways that you can add files. See, we talked about adding pages. We talked about moving pages. Let me mark these off. All right, so adding files. There's a few different ways that you can add files. There's attaching, which is what this is. There's embedding, and then there's hyperlinking. So I'm going to show you the 3 different ways that you can do that. If you click Add File, it will only add files that are on your computer. There it is. Don't ever let people say Macs are the fastest. They have their problems as well. There we go. So it'll add any file, a video, a picture, a Word document, a PowerPoint, anything that you have in your folders. And all you would do is, let's say I want to attach this data. I click on it, click Open, and it will attach it. I don't know why I did that. There we go. And it will attach it right down there. And so when they click on this newest post and they go here, they'll see that you can say, don't forget to download the file at the bottom. And it's right there. So that is attaching a file. You can also embed a file. If you want to embed a file, it has to be already placed in your Google Drive. So to do that, we would click on the Edit button. I go up to Insert, and it gives me all these options. To the far right is our Google options. We want to insert from our Google Drive, and we want to insert a document. So I click on Document. It brings up all the recent documents. Let's say I want to attach our Advanced Google Sites document. I click Select. It asks, do you want a border? Do you want to include the title? So if you want to, yes. If not, uncheck them. And I click Save. Notice, once again, whenever you post a gadget, it will only be a white box. In order to see what it looks like, you have to click Save. So this is embedding a document. They can actually view the document right on the post. And if they wanted to, they can click on it and copy the document to their Google Drive, or they can download it to their computer. Okay, so that's down here is attaching. This is embedding. Now, what if you want to attach just a link? Well, to attach a link, you would have to go to your Google Drive. You double click on it. Get link. Come on. So now we have the link. We would go to the edit and we would say view document here. Highlight. And then okay. And then when they click on it, it will open up their Google Drive and take you to that document. Now I find that tedious. I just like putting it, embedding it on my site, but a lot of teachers don't like that big old document taking up that page. They would rather just be say download document here, and it takes them to their Google Drive. And then from here, all the student has to do is go file, make copy, and now they have their very own copy. I do be aware that when you do this though, you want to make sure that it is shared as view only, not shared as can edit, because then the kids will get on there and start messing with it and it changes yours. So when you share documents, you want to make sure the link is can view only, not can edit. Crazy things can happen at that point.
Is that in the embed or in the
Both.
both hyperlink and
Yes, both.
Unless that is your goal is to have
Right.
it all on there, but yeah, if you're just giving them the document.
Yeah, so like here, if to get the link, you don't have to change any share settings. All you have to do is go to get shareable link. And when you download this, you want to make sure it says anyone with the link can view, not can edit. When you're working from your Google Drive, right here it says only people at Clovis Unified. So that means your parents wouldn't be able to download it. So what I would do is I would go under more, and then I would make sure I click on anyone with the link. Anyone, doesn't matter about your web page. Anyone with the link can edit. And then you click save. And now that link is available to anybody. And it's can view. And then when they view it, they can download a copy themselves, and then they can edit it. But it'll be their copy they're editing, not yours. That's what I have all up and down my stuff. Like if I go to homework and assignments, it says right here, classwork, Unit 3 Jigsaw worksheet. Students in class did blah, 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 blah. If you need another Jigsaw worksheet, another one can be found here. So they click on it, and it takes them to the Jigsaw worksheet page, and it has a copy of the Jigsaw worksheet so they know that's the one they need, and they can download it. And just because this is a teacher help page as well, I showed that I could put it there as well. I don't hyperlink it because that's just overkill. But I use this so my parents know exactly where to go. And then I can also send an email with just this link. Instead of a link to my Google Drive, I'll send them a link to this page in my web page. And I'll say, hey, your student was absent. Make sure they finish this next time they come into class. And they click on it. It takes them right to this page with the document that they can download for their student so they can work on it. No excuses for the parents, no excuses for the students. That's my big thing. And in order for that to happen, you have to have what's called 3 clicks to success. Nowhere on your web page should they have to click more than 3 times to get where they need to go. 3 clicks to success. Otherwise, they're going to get lost. They'll be like, this is I can't do it, and they're going to give up. 3 clicks to success is so everywhere on your web page should be able to be accessed in 3 or less clicks. All right, so I would like you to create an announcements page. Make sure you add the widget to your home page or the gadget. I would like you to attach a file. I would like you to embed a file. And if you'd like to go that extra mile and hyperlink a file, you may do that as well. But I like to see that you can do all 3 of those things because I find that this is one of the most important things teachers should be doing on their websites so that their students have access to anything that they missed or have lost or maybe didn't know how to do. Okay, so a few minutes to go ahead and do that. Add announcement page and add file. Perfect. And the great thing about adding these documents to your webpage, whenever you make a change to them, it automatically changes it on your website. So you don't have to go in and re-change the document
You mean from your Google?
from your Google Drive. So you go to your Google Drive, you make some changes. Like let's say you put your syllabus up from last year and it says 2014, 2015, and you change it to 2015, 2016, it automatically updates your website. So you don't have to go in and change that. It changes it for you. It's dynamic, so it changes wherever you go. If you give your students editing right, whatever they change will also appear on your website. So you don't want to do that, definitely.
I just did, I think what did it say, like top level or whatever, what did that, kind of backtrack on it.
Which page?
Injury page.
I had actually added
Mhm.
and so what I do is try to add two separate
Yeah.
widgets.
I didn't understand that.
Geography.
This is where you want it, though, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
They're correct. And then they'll, and every time you update one, it'll
top
appear
level
right
means
there.
it's gonna be a main page.
So it just makes it easier for you.
Underneath that other page, then you need to choose that page.
So we wanted to.
Do it.
So
Go
what
to your
would be the importance of linking to that page? Like, would it be like an outside of a, like your Google Drive type thing?
Yeah, so if they want to make sure that the student actually clicks on it to put it in their Google Drive, you would want to do that hyperlink. Because when they just view the document, there's no guarantee they're going to click on it to download it. Yeah, so if you hyperlink it, it takes them directly to opening it up in their Google Drive, and then it's just copy to my drive and boom and stuff.
Okay, but so if I use them in using Classroom,
That's where you, yeah.
So if you're using Classroom,
that would be a different issue, right?
yes, then basically you would just have a link to your classroom and say
Yeah, which I do.
download from, yeah,
Okay,
that's all you'd have to do.
okay.
Yeah, a lot of teachers aren't using Classroom at the moment, so that's why this is the biggest option for them. If they don't
Okay,
use
so if I'm
Classroom.
using Classroom, don't embed it, just put it in my Classroom.
Yes, and then what I would do is I put it in my classroom,
Mhm.
and then in my website, I'd have a link to that document in my classroom.
So favorite website, and then I just go to Google Classroom.
Yes, and then I boom right there. So it
Okay.
takes them to the Google Classroom.
Okay, that would be my,
Yes,
what's the distinct, I know, so like,
absolutely.
I'm trying to get my group on board to do
Good.
it.
Well, and Google Classroom, they're adding new things every single month. So when you do start talking with your teachers, make sure you are utilizing that bottom button every day.
Okay,
The feedback, because they listen to feedback from every teacher. They read every feedback every day.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
just put a little.
like-
Because I knew it Moto, but I was like, you know what, I used to teach 8th grade as well. So, but in a different district. So when I saw Classroom, I was like, it's very great, like easier to use Classroom.
well, Edmodo is a great product.
No, I'm not.
The only reason I don't care for it is because my goal is to have students utilize technology they're going to be using at their next educational level.
That's kind of where I'm
And
going.
nobody uses Edmodo after 8th grade.
Oh,
So to get them to learn how to use Edmodo and then 9th grade nobody uses it, it's a waste of their time. It makes it easier for us as teachers to give documents out,
No, I
but
agree.
it's a waste of students' time to learn a technology they're never going to use again.
Okay,
So Classroom actually forces them to use their drive and to update their drive and to collaborate with their drive, and they're going to be using their drive in high school and in college. So Classroom forces them to learn how to use their drive.
and see, I was a Chromebook, so I had like one of my Chromebooks before.
This.
And so I could use Google, so
That's what I'm writing a grant this summer to get a whole set of Chromebooks as a dynamic science notebooking tool.
oh yeah, for
So
sure.
I'm hoping at least I can get 20 for my class. At least the girls can
I
share one.
ended up buying one, because it was so nice, because I could project it.
And then, for other teachers, you can also link a whole folder. So if you have a folder of documents you want the kids to copy into their drive, you can always link a folder and it takes them to a folder of stuff. Once again, if they're not using Classroom, that's another good option.
Mhm.
If you're really techie and into Google Drive, there's some stuff in there that's even better than Classroom. that classroom is trying to add, there is an add-on called Doctopus, and it does the same thing that Google Classroom does by assigning documents to all the students, but it also adds in an embargo button, so you can stop them from working on it at any time.
That's more of a computer tech class.
Yeah, so it's,
Yeah, I would like to get rid of one.
that's what I was working on. I was creating a whole class based upon that, and then Classroom,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
there's no point working with this stuff.
No, yeah, I have a Chromebook at home, which I'm gonna get my kindergartner on. And see if he can start doing it.
When a lot of people say Chromebooks aren't worth it because it's not a computer. Well, absolutely, but all the work that I do is online anyways. So I don't need all that other stuff. In fact, all the other stuff on my computer bogs it down and slows it down, starts it up too slowly, closes it down too slowly. When I was in Austin, they showed us the newest version of Chromebooks coming out. You turned it on, done. Turned it off, done. I've never seen something work so fast in my life.
And they're quick.
Yes.
And they hold the charge really good. Yeah, I mean, two sides quick, turning on and charges.
And it prevents the kids from downloading stuff off the internet because it won't let you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, a few more minutes because we're getting down to the 45-minute timeline, and I'm only halfway through my list.
How would you delete
So if you delete a post, it's exactly the same way as deleting a web page. So you can go up to cogwheel and then delete page, and it will delete that post.
And so if I had multiple,
Yeah, so if you have multiple posts, you don't want to delete that page because it'll delete all your posts.
yeah, so I
You
can
just want to
click
click on the
into
post and then delete that post as deleting it as a page.
Because I'd rather have it here than in the
We talked about that.
So do I go just anywhere I want it to go, or does it have to be like me and something?
Well, you want to choose where it goes. So like, let's say you wanted to put it in your post, so you can click on there. And edit the page.
And so, so this is the handwritten Google document.
And then if there's ever anything else you need, you want to shoot some stuff by me and ask me questions, just let me know. Absolutely. At least it has a USB. All of those tablets and all those things have.
Do you want to take it off? Just put it after. Yeah.
All right, so now one of the other most powerful things that you can add onto your website, especially for middle school, actually all middle school, high school, elementary, is videos. Google owns YouTube. So you can actually, let me go back. You can actually directly embed YouTube videos that you found right on your web page. You would go to any page that you wanted. So let's go, actually, let me create a new post and post it there. It makes it easier. I'll title this YouTube. And then all you would do is go to Insert. And at the very bottom is YouTube. And you would already have to have the YouTube URL, the share URL saved. I would show you how to do that, but I'm on my own computer, so it's blocked from YouTube. I heard that the district is in works of trying to get YouTube schools, YouTube education unblocked. So just stuff that is linked to YouTube education will be unblocked. But that's a work in progress. Because I know on Google's side, they're still trying to get that working. And then I know on our side, we're changing over to a new server, something that it'll be easier to block the bad ones from the good ones. But you can always add YouTube. But here's the problem. Just what I said to you. The students don't have access to YouTube. So if you want them to view the video in class, it's not going to happen. So here's the other alternative. You can embed a Google video. And the only difference between a YouTube video and a Google video is that a YouTube video is housed on YouTube and a Google video is housed in your Google Drive. And so you would already have to have a video in your Google Drive. And I would love to show you how to easily download a video from YouTube. But once again, I can't get to YouTube on this. But the shortcut is it's super secret. You go to the page that has the YouTube video. And then where it says www.youtube and then all the rest, right after the dot and right before the Y in YouTube, you type in SS. Super secret, SS. And it'll download the video for you. The whole YouTube video, it'll download for you, and then you can upload to your Google Drive. I showed that. Yeah, no commercials. Yeah. And so I've done that. So let me show you. So I go to Insert, and instead of going to YouTube, I go to Drive. And what in Drive? I go down to Video. And it brings up all the videos that I have in my Google Drive. So let's say that I want to add this one. So I clicked on it. This is a video called A Boy and His Atom. I click Select and Save and Save. And now it's right there for them to view. I pulled this video right off of YouTube, uploaded it to my Google Drive, and now anybody with access to my webpage can now see it. And watch, I'll click play and it won't work. Oh, it does work. And so it's right there. So they can view it in your classroom. They can view it right off their Google Drive. You can view it right off their Google Classroom. You can embed this as an announcement. Tell them to watch it and answer a quiz. And it looks just like a YouTube video, but it's playing right off your drive.
Okay, so real fast. The SS, that can convert it into Google.
So the SS transports you to a page to download that particular YouTube video. It'll ask you, what would you like to download it as? And it usually downloads it as an MP4, and you don't have to download as an MP4 720. That's a lot of space. Even though your Google Drive has plenty of space, you can download it as a 320, which is this quality, which is plenty good for them, which would be only like 5 megabytes. And then once it downloads to your computer, you upload it to your Google Drive. And then now you can add it to this. Here's the awesome thing about doing this. In my Drive, I've created a folder called Science Films for Class. Every film we have on campus that I took from the library that I got permission because we have digital rights to these videos. I placed them in a folder in my Google Drive. I then shared this folder as view only with the other 4 members of my department. Now they have access to every single one of the videos in the library at the exact same time as me. And so now, instead of having this library of videos, like what should I play today? They only have to carry their computer and go, today I want to play Hunting the Elements. Right there. Hunting the Elements, which is a 1 gig video file, was uploaded to my Google Drive very easily, plays very easily, quality, still good, and if I wanted to, full screen. And we can be playing, all 4 of us at the exact same time, off the exact same file, can be watching the exact same thing in all of our classes. Now, if a student is absent, right? I'm sorry, Mr. Marquez, I can't do the worksheet because I wasn't here for the video. Oh, it's on the website. You can go home and watch it. You know, the hour you missed in class, go ahead and spend that hour at home and watching the video. And then attached to the video, guess what will be? The assignment. So now every student has every opportunity to complete every lesson as if they are all in class.
Where is that SS going?
Right after, so www.youtube, right after the dot and right before the Y. So SS.
And then just press enter.
And then just press enter. And it should take you to a place called Save from Net. And then it gives you the option to download MP4 360, MP4 720.
www.ssyoutube.
But you should already be on the YouTube file you want. And then all you do is type in the SS. But that's why I like the Google video, because anybody can watch it from anywhere. You don't have to worry about YouTube being blocked. And then you have seen the video, so you know that an inappropriate commercial is not going to pop up. So that's how you can embed videos directly onto your webpage.
It's saying webpage not available.
You know, a couple teachers were having that problem when they were doing it at school as well. I wonder if we have it blocked now. But it worked in my class on my computer. When my computer doesn't really work. So that's, but it works at home all the time. And I showed you how to add the hyperlinks. You can add a hyperlink to any page at any time. So even on your home page, you can do something like down here, click here to view our latest work. And so you have that, you highlight it, and you click on the link button. And you can either link it to any page on your web page, or click on web address and then type in the URL for any web address you would like them to go to. So that's how you would hyperlink anything. Type whatever you want, highlight, click on the chain link, and then you can link to anywhere on your web page or link to anywhere on anybody else's web page. Let's see.
Oh,
46 days. It doesn't show what day it is. This is 46 days until. 52 days since spring break, 115 days till the last day of school. All right, now I want to show you, we're going to skip the favicon for right now. We'll go back to that if we have time at the end. I want to show you some of my favorite widgets that you can add directly onto any web page. One of them is another counter. So to add a widget, you go to the web page you would like to add it to. You click on the pencil to edit that page. You scroll down on the page you would like to add it. Then you go into Insert, More Gadgets. So here's the most common gadgets. Do not ever choose that Google Calendar. That Google Calendar is not your Google Calendar. What that Google Calendar is it's linked to anybody's calendar that visits your page. It's confusing, but if you can add all these things to it, and then when a student visits your page, it turns that calendar into the student's calendar. So they're viewing their own calendar. So don't ever choose that calendar. It's very confusing. But we do want to add, we're going to go to public. Public opens up more. We're going to go down to, let's find the right one. Not Hangman, not Countdown to Christmas. It's green. Nope, not the Hangman. There it is, Day Counter. It's called Day Counter. I'm going to click on Select, and it asks you to name the event. And once again, let's say unit number 4 test. It asks for the year, 2015. It asks for the month, February. And then it asks for the day, 24. And then countdown. Unit number 4 test. Preview gadget. And this is what it will look like. Countdown to unit 4 test, 14 days. And I'm going to click OK. I want the gadget in the middle. So right now it's off to the left. I'm going to put it in the middle, line it to the center, and then save. And then now you can see countdown to unit 4 test right there on your main page. Yeah, I have a counter off to the side, but I also have a counter right on the main page. So once again, no excuses that you don't know when our exam is. If you have like I use Twitter in my class. I have my students tweet me during class to ask me questions. So they like to add me to their Twitter feed. You can add a Twitter feed counter on here as well, just by clicking on, once again, add gadgets, and then clicking on the Twitter option. So go ahead and go into the more gadgets and just play around a little bit. So like here's the Twitter follow right there and stuff like that. There's one that you're probably, I mean, if you ever want to embed a web page directly into your web page so they don't ever have to leave, that would be called an iframe. You would copy and paste the URL for a website. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. I click on it, select, and I would grab the URL. So let's say I want to show this one, animation library. Control C. Control V. Now it's there. I'm going to preview it. Or maybe I have to add in the. It'll only add web pages with the HTTPS. S stands for secure. Sometimes you can just add the S to it and it'll fake that it's secure. So let me see if that will work, if I can change that. HTTPS. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And it didn't. So some web pages will work, some won't. They just switched over to this about 1.5 years ago. So a lot of the pages that I had linked ended up looking like this because they switched over to the secure iframes. Good or bad, I have no idea. Does anybody use Remind? Remind 101? Remind? Do you have the Remind widget?
No.
So if you have Remind, you know it's the one you can use off of a tablet, a phone, or computer, and it sends out a message to all your students or parents. A lot of teachers at Buchanan, they don't like going on their computer to update their website. So I said, well, why don't you get a Remind account? And then every day send out a remind of what you did, and it will automatically update your web page. They go, how? Well, to do that, you go to Remind 101, or not 101 anymore, just Remind. Just sign in. Let me sign in real quick. All right. Nope, that's the wrong one. All right, here we go. So this is your Remind account. Under your name, you would go down to My Widgets. So you go to remind.com, you'd sign into your account, it'll take you to your main page, and then you click on My Widgets. And then under My Widgets, you would like to make sure that you click on Google Sites, because you want to download the URL that would work in a Google site. And you can either have a widget that is maintained for all of your classes or for individual classes. So I'm going to grab it just for my science class, and all you have to do, so it's a Science with Mr. Marquez students version. All you have to do is click on copy, and it tells you exactly how to do it. So we're going to go to our Google site. We're going to click on edit, then insert, and then more gadgets, and then we're going to click on add gadget by URL. So we're going to follow those directions. So we're going to click on edit. Whoops. There we go. I'm going to click on insert, more gadgets. Did you see it? Oh, there it is. Add gadget by URL. And it's erase the HTTPS and then just Control V. Maybe not delete the HTTPS. There it is. Save. And so anytime that you send out a message using Remind, it will instantly upload to your web page. So I tell teachers, well, if you don't want to go to your web page to update it, send out a Remind, the kids will get it, and it'll be posted on your web page. And that could be considered at this moment like an updated web page to complement the Stowe bill that you all signed at the beginning of the year. A lot of the apps that you use for class have widgets. So if you just go online and check the website, always click by the account and then see if it has add widgets. They may have a widget that you can just add to your web page to make it look a little bit neater. All right, let me show you how to customize a header for you. A header is at the very top. This is the header. So to do that, the best place to do it for beginners is Google Draw. It's the best place. So Google Draw, it would be under your drive, and you would click New, and then More, and then Google Drawings right there. So if everybody can go there for me. So once again, that's to your Google Drive. You click New, More, and then Google Drawings. And it will open up this for you. And so I would go to the shapes, and this looks good, so I'll just do this. Right there, and then you can add a text box right here in the middle. We can edit that text any way that we want. Change the font size. Too big. And we can change the font. And then the color. So now you have a nice little header in the back. And then you can start adding some pictures off to the side, whatever pictures you have in your computer. I highly recommend you add what's called a PNG. PNG stands for Portable Network Graphic. It has no background. So any background you put it on, it takes that background. So it's kind of like transparent in the back. And the easiest way to do that is when you go online. So let's type in kitten and then PNG. And it should pull up kittens that are in the PNG format. So let's check. And you can tell if it's PNG. Well, not on this one. Usually you can tell in the background it's checkerboard. Checkerboard means there's no real background. It'll take any background you want. This projector is making the checkerboard look white. So I can't tell if that's a PNG or not. Oh, well, let's see if we can copy and paste it. See, that's not a PNG. See how the background is white? That won't work. That's a PNG. See how it covers the background like that? So then all I would have to do, I'm going to drag these to the high corner. There's my new background. There's my new title. So I'm going to come up to File and click Download as PNG. There it is. It's down there. I know that downloaded to my downloads folder. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to click on Edit Site Layout. I'm going to click right here for Custom Header. Right now it's on default. It's the Clovis Unified default. I'm going to click on Custom Logo and choose File. Be under downloads. Right there. Open. Okay. Edit that layout. There we go. And there it is. There's my new custom header for my website. And notice, because it's a PNG, it takes the background of what's already back there. And that's how I made mine with the gremlin slashing through the page, because that slash is a PNG. And then the gremlin is a secondary PNG. And then this is not a PNG. I couldn't get that into a PNG. But that's how you make your custom background. Now, if you want to mess around with your website a little bit more, that's when we would get into our manage site. So if I click on manage site, this is where you get into the more funky stuff. You can see your recent site activity. You can get on here and see your different page templates that are available. But the thing that a lot of people forget about is down here, themes, colors, and fonts. And this is where you can change the entire themes already. So like, let's say you chose one early on. You can change the theme completely by choosing on one of these templates. Here's public templates you can choose over here. If you just want to change the overall theme, the background, they have all these different ones down here, like Schoolhouse. It'll show you a preview before it actually changes it. So if you like it, you can say yes. If you don't like it, you can always change it back. You can change the color. You can make just a blank background. I'm in a blank theme. And then you can add your own backgrounds. Like these can be a picture of your class, or back here can be a picture of whatever, or something you took, or whatever. You can make it pretty much anything that you want in the background. But to do that, all you would have to do is come up to background. And right now, the color is the theme, but let's say you want to change the color to none. It changes the entire background to white. Let's say you want to change it to whatever that is, fuchsia, I don't know. It'll change it to that. If you wanted to make it an image, you would go to image, and then you'd pick an image. And there's the image that I chose now in the background with the color that I chose. So you can fiddle around with this and pretty much make your website something you never thought possible just by goofing around and messing around and playing around with it. And we have 10 minutes left, so I want you to play around with that, and I want to show you one more thing. It's the thing that I always show, and they think it's the greatest thing ever. And that's how to change this little icon in the corner to whatever you want. Normally, for a Google site, it looks just like this. It's the Google site logo, and it's plain. But you can actually change it to whatever you want. So you would go online and download any picture that you would like. And once you've done that, on that sheet I've given you, I have a link to a favicon generator. And so all you have to do is choose the picture that you want off your computer and click Create Favicon. And then it'll take you to a page that says Download Favicon. So let me show you. I'm going to choose File. Let's say that I want that one. I click Open. Open. There we go. It's right there. I click Create Favicon. Done. And I click right there, Download Generated Favicon. And then right down here, it downloads it for me. And then from my website, let me start you off from the beginning. From my website, I go to the cogwheel, Manage Site, Attachments, and then Upload, and then the favicon. And then as soon as you hit Done, that will turn, Upload, and it needs to be titled Favicon, otherwise it won't work. There we go, favicon. And look, it looks all pixelated because it is. It's supposed to be really tiny. Now this is the one that I chose, but I would have to change the name to favicon. So I'm just going to use one that I'm already using. See how I did favicon and then one because I already had that name. It needs to be called favicon.ico. It needs to be, otherwise it won't recognize it. So I'm going to click on that and click Open. It does it really quick because it's only a 2 kilobyte file. There it is, and there it is. That's it, easy. I mean, it's the super simplest thing, but it took me a long time to figure out how to do it. But notice it was super pixelated when it was big, but tiny. It's all right. So I would like you to mess around with your backgrounds and settings and headers and all these things, and that's pretty much all I wanted to get through tonight to kind of spice up your Google site and get it more towards your liking and your students' liking and your parents' liking. Just remember, 3 clicks to success is a great way to think about your website for your students and parents. Embedding documents rather than attaching documents. Google videos rather than YouTube videos. Setting up a sheet of knowing where you want your pages to go and setting them up that way. And making your backgrounds lighter colors better than darker colors. It's just more inviting. All right, so go ahead and do what you need to do. There's 7 minutes left of our session. I'll stick around as long as you want me to stick around. I won't leave until everybody's gone, so you can stay till 7. I'll stay till 7. But yeah, play around, and if you have any questions, call me over. Was there anything that you wanted me to cover that I didn't cover? You're like, I really hope he covered that tonight, and I didn't cover it. Awesome. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close down our recordings for this session, and this will be uploaded. I'll figure out a page to upload this to.